Hey members, what's up? Mustiaki here. I wish you a very great 2018. It's been a while since we talked, like I did it in a video. This is not like a very main video or something like that or an update video. I just want to reach out to you and look at some of the things I accomplished in 2017, just looking back and looking ahead with a fresh new start for 2018 and what the plans are and what we're gonna do and stuff like that. I hope to make this video very short, but if I know myself, I'm gonna talk, and before I know it, I'm gonna talk about the meaning of life and all that stuff. So I hope to try to make it short. Guys, full disclosure, you must be thinking like, I saw that the video, before I clicked it, was 1 hour and 50 minutes long or something. And why is he saying that you're gonna keep it short? Because I'm a liar. I'm a liar, that's for sure. I wanted to make the video very short, but it just lifted off to something completely else, and I wanted to make some highlights, but it got more into an honest talk. So if you're not waiting for 1 hour and 50 minutes for me to talk about whatever, well, it's not about whatever, it's a bit, I'm just gonna give you a disclosure. It's about what I did in 2017. It's a lot about being thankful and grateful for you guys. It's my plans, well, also the projects that I worked on for 2017, but I also and my plans for 2018 of the channel and my New Year's resolution. But in between, I talk so much shit that I'm not sure if you want to stay for the entire ride. I think it's helpful though. I think it's very helpful. But if you want to stay for 1 hour and 50 minutes, I don't know. Well, especially not for on your work or in between in your pause, or when you're on a lunch, or you're on a toilet, because I think that your toilet break, it don't need 1 hour and 50 minutes. But maybe if you're just before you go to sleep, which I don't do that actually, because scientifically it's proven it's very bad to look at your screen and your phone just before sleeping. I do it, and it's also a New Year's resolution, by the way. I'm not gonna look at my phone at least for a couple hours before the sleep. But so don't do that. But maybe if you are in the nighttime and you have some time, look at this video then. Or when you're working, and I think that's most of you guys that do that, is when you're drawing and just like to listen. I don't know why. I don't know why you want to listen to my voice the entire time, but here it is. It's 1 hour and 50 minutes, so go enjoy, and don't listen to the other guy that's coming after this, because he's a liar. It's not short. It's not going to be 10 minutes. No, it's going to be 1 hour and 50 at least. So go enjoy, and good luck. See you guys later. So let me get into it. Really fast. I also have a list written down, so just to memorize stuff. Like I said, I'm a bit rusty, just getting back. In 2017, the start of 2017, I think in February, was the launch of the very first video I did, like, hey guys, I'm coming back. Are you happy? Are you excited for it? And you guys reacted with more than I initially thought. So that was a big surprise for me. I thought many viewers were already hooked off and weren't interested in how to BAM anymore. But you guys did, so that was really grateful actually, and really rewarding to see that there are still people wanting to see more of how to BAM and the channel, and more videos about content for making manga and stuff like that. In case you are new to this channel, and since we are making a new start to 2018, This is a channel for making manga, but also, like I said, I'm Mustiaki. I'm an artist, a manga artist. I also make manga. I made a manga. I Put a Boy with 4 chapters. It's online. I couldn't work on it. But for you guys who are new, if you want to make manga, this is the channel for you. And that's what my initial plan was, and that's what my plan still is. So I still want to make videos and help you guys well, create manga and make it look professional, work on the story, which we get into a bit later, but have that quality manga that you see in Japan and in the Eastern countries, and that's blowing more towards the West, and more people are getting involved, and yeah, it's a real uprising, and it's getting bigger all the time, every day. So I want to contribute with that. I think I have something to tell you guys, and well, I have the know-how of some of the things I do, and I think I have a different perspective on it, and I have in my opinion, a pretty good art style way of looking how the Japanese do it, or how it looks more authentic than the manga, the real manga elements in there, and try to make it your own and still have it look like that style. So you can go in the whole debate of, but is it real manga because it's not from Japan and blah blah blah. But I don't want to get into that discussion. I really hate that. What I want to focus on is just manga is like you can recognize the style and also the story quality and the elements in there. They're really fresh, they're original. If you turn a page, there's almost a surprise there. It's the story is great. It's full in depth. Well, we all know how manga and anime are, so almost try to get that, though, the basics of that, and try to make it your own. And what you going to bring from your experience in your life, and try to make something original again. So it's not, for me, I think it's not only that Japanese people can do, or Eastern, and you know, I also heard Chinese and Korean people, and well, more in the East do it, but also we got comic books in the West, and strips and stuff like that, and they're also very great storytelling. So trying to build a world where we can collide those things and make something unique, fresh, but we have that look of manga in there, and the style that everybody knows and loves, and it's appealing. I think that's something to strive for, and that's what I want to accomplish with this channel, is get to know how, get how to do that actually, and I'll give you tips and stuff like that. But I started in 2013, 2014 or something like that. Started with a big video. Prep yourself, like, okay, hold up guys, if you want to start your manga, look at this video first, because there are probably a lot of things that you haven't thought about and are coming on your path that are maybe too big of a challenge, or maybe you haven't thought it through. So that video picked up quite good, more surprisingly more than I initially thought it would. After that, I still wanted to make a video about storytelling and stuff like that, but it never happened because life just had other plans. That's what it happened. Life had other plans, and it's really weird, because if you guys you see what's happening. I'm already going all places, but what I wanted to do is the vlog videos. That's the first videos. That's me coming back. So in 2017, I decided, like, okay, I'm coming back to this channel. I want to bring life to it again, and almost pick up where I left off, and that's with the storytelling and stuff like that, and main videos. But I realized, like, it's a real hard thing to do, especially for the editing, because I can record it like this and I can talk about it, but the editing is like So it's really hard to do that, and it's really time consuming. So I did vlogging, and I talk to you like I do now, and it's much more easier to do. But it can also be boring. So I'm still hesitating if the vlogging really works or not. Let me know in the comment section if you have a better idea of that. But having said that, it's like storytelling is always going to be second. That was always the initial plan. Life had other plans, and before we knew it, we were in 2017. But I always had that thing back in my head where I was, okay, wait, it's I'm going to make a video next week. I didn't talk about it in the vlog videos, which you can see on the channel. They're out. There are 3 vlogs videos, but I always had the plan like, oh, next week I'll make another video, and then a week went by, and next week I'll make another video, and before I knew it, we were in 2017, and I was looking back, getting all these comments and reactions, and people were like, hey, are you dead? Or is the channel still alive? It's failed, and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, whoa, time really went by really fast, and I had priorities on other kind of stuff. So I knew I still had a very big passion. I still have it. Like, I want to make videos. I want to share my knowledge with you guys, and also it's also for myself, because I can get a lot of stuff back, also from you guys. Like, what are you thinking of and thinking about, what you're struggling with, but also for myself, like gaining more experience of making videos, but also for manga, getting my name more out and stuff like that. So it's also it worked. I see it as a win-win. But yeah, my motivation has always been for the fans and for you guys and for everybody who's struggling with manga, to help you guys out, because I know what it's like. And back in the days when I started to make videos, it was very different than it was in the day now, because back in the day there weren't that many videos out there. So I thought, like, okay, if I have to do it and I have to make videos, this is the time to do that. So I started making them. But after the pause, so like when life had other plans, a lot more YouTubers came out and shared their knowledge. So there's a lot more out there. There's a lot more videos about how to make manga and tools and stuff like that. Because those are the videos that I also wanted to make, like what kind of tools, and I want to, like the unboxing stuff, like you got a G-pen, and these are the materials and the papers and stuff like that, because I looked for those videos myself, because I also struggled with the same answers, you know, that I wanted to get. Like I wanted know, like, what kind of paper are mangaka using, and is this right? Do they actually work traditional? Do they blend it with digital nowadays? And well, all those questions, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go my own route. I struggled a lot with those things. I did a year hiatus from work, my own company, and then I dug into how to make manga. So did a lot of self-research, read a lot of manga of how to do it, really studying it, and that I think that's one of the biggest lessons that you can that I advise you to do, is just grab manga, look at them, and read through them, and see why. Just ask the question every time with each panel, each page, each manga. Why are they using the texts over here? Why are they using sound effects over here? And why these kind of types of sound effects here and not there? And why in this corner, and why these fonts and stuff like that. The effect lines, the line thickness, and well, all these questions. But if you ask yourself every time, like, why, and you see some kind of pattern coming back in the manga, then it's like a puzzle getting more complete, and you understand the reason behind it. And well, that's a way of how I got my knowledge, just reading it and exploring it, and actually doing a lot myself, just figuring things out, making a lot of mistakes, and learn from them. So yeah, that was my, you see, it's 10 minutes already, so time flew by. So that was the plan with How to Bam. I still want to make thing come back, but yeah. First of all, I want to thank you guys again. I did also in the other videos, but I really appreciate you guys, what you still do, still supporting me, still watching these videos, still giving those likes. And those are really motivational, especially these comments. And maybe you think I don't read them, but I do. I read every comment that passes by. I don't answer them all. Maybe sometimes I do. It really depends on my mood, but also if I'm occupied or not, and also if I think it's helpful or not. Because sometimes I answer something and I open a discussion and that's not really helpful at all. Or sometimes I answer to something and I think like, okay, if I answer this person, I also have to answer all the other guys, because I want to make things equal and stuff like that. So yeah, I read them. That's what I do. So if you have a comment and you have questions or want to know something, just go ahead. I'm not, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to answer all of them, but I read them. That's what I do. So yeah, thanks to you guys. Those comments are really helpful. It's a bit tight. So yeah, those comments are really helpful. I really appreciate it, and I'm really grateful and thankful for that you guys are so involved. And that's not what I expected to happen a couple of years ago. So thank you for that. Thank you for following me and supporting me. Yeah, so the vlogging, what did I also do is like the manga yourself. Maybe you seen videos about it. I did one video that's really like the drawing pictures or drawing manga from pictures. There's one edited video out there that's more the official video, and I still have to make them. I recorded it already. I have a lot of material, but I still have to do the editing, and which is also a. So yeah, that's just a lot of time. And before I knew it, I threw myself into that lion's pit again, with putting more on my shoulders. Like, okay, can I do this? I have to, because I want to do this. I want to make this a success. I want to make something out of How to Bam. I want to lift it, and I'll talk about it, about my plans and what I want to do with How to Bam in 2018 and stuff like that a bit later, which is very interesting. But yeah, that's always been my initial thought. It's always coming back. How to Bam is always in my blood and veins. It's one of my biggest passions of life, just to have my own channel and to share with you guys, and to have it for you, and to build a platform, and it won't be just about How to Bam. It will be levitated to another, can transform into something else, which I have also plans for, but step by step. So yeah, manga yourself, I did the videos for, but it's also something I do for yeah, my money, my income, actually. So that's something I do on Sundays mostly. On Sundays I sit down, I can take 1-2 orders, and I'll draw them out. But in this Christmas time, it just went berserk. A lot of applications were coming in, and they were like, oh, can you do this last minute? Oh, tomorrow is Christmas, can you still do it? And at one point I just had to say, sorry guys, it's I can't do this. I also have to celebrate my own Christmas. So I put a stop on it a bit, or just told people like, no, I'm sorry, you have to wait till 2018. And the reactions of anybody who's who got a Mangafy in 2017 and all the years before that as well is phenomenal. It's so weird how the bond and the communication, and how easy and well, not easy, it's more like they're so nice, you know. It's, people are so nice, and that's also something that I didn't know. So thank you guys for if you've ordered a mangafication or mangafy, and you did so and you had to wait a bit for your drawing. Thank you for your patience and your kind words, because there's none, maybe one in I think maybe 600, 700 of mangafy I did. I really have to count them because I really did this a long time. That would be pretty cool to have a special like 1,000 mangafy or something. But there's maybe one or two out there that people were like, that's not really, it's not really what I wanted or not as I expected. But for the rest, all the, if you could say 600 or 700 of them, they were all so nice. People were like, wow, this is amazing. It's more than I expected. I had to wait, and sometimes you have to wait because, like I said, I'm just doing this on Sundays or sometimes in the night. But people just had to wait sometimes a week, months, and they were still like, oh, it was worth the wait. The finished result is so much more than I imagined. Thank you for that, and wow, that's really an accomplishment, and people are, like I said, your guys are awesome. So thank you for ordering those mangafy. If you still want a mangafy, go to howtobam.com/manga yourself, or just go to the website howtobam and you'll see a link. But yeah, you can also see on my personal Instagram, I'll upload a mangafy each day. I got those still from all those times, so I still got 500 of them all built up. But I think it's nice to share them and just show like, oh, I have a comparison as well. So you see a picture and then you see the mangafy of the person. But thank you for that. And I want to do an honorable mention to one guy in particular, and that's Jesse. He's from Holland as well. He visited me on the convention in June on Anime Con, and he requested a mangafication of himself, of him holding a sword with a like a samurai kimono outfit, and in the back he wanted like a dojo and a bamboo forest, but all full in anime versions, like full color. And he's still waiting for his drawing, and I feel so bad. And I've shared this on Instagram, on my Instagram as well. This guy is so patient, so nice, so well relaxed about it. Like, oh no man, it's okay, I can understand, you're busy, it doesn't matter, I just want to know like what is the process. And because he sent me a mail now and then, I'll update him about it. But it's still not finished because the initial thought about that was, okay, I could see it in front of me. Like I knew what he wanted, but what I really wanted to do to honor his image of what I thought he wanted. I thought I knew some guys that were amazing in background animation, like drawing the anime backgrounds, like almost a Miyazaki movie, or that you see in those, not even series, but movies, that quality that's really sticking out. And I really wanted to go to those guys and say, okay, I want to commission you, I want to pay you for doing the background for this commission that I have. But they didn't respond, or they were occupied and stuff like that. So I just couldn't find anyone. And then at one point I was thinking like, okay, I can still go on and find someone to do it, because I really think it will honor. I think they really can do a better job than I can, because I can do a really great anime. I can really draw well, but background is stuff that I haven't done that many, and not in that quality, because I think I can do great backgrounds and stuff like that, but not in that quality. So what it means is if I have to do it myself, I have to teach myself again to do that, and that takes time. So that's what I did because I couldn't find anybody. So I I started to work on that background, and it's a real wow. It's hard. It's like I'm looking at tutorials as well just to gain more experience, like how to do the lighting and layers and how to do work with brushes and stuff like that. And especially for a very detailed anime background, like a bamboo forest, and that's not a well, I've been looking them up. Like, okay, how can I find an anime background just to have a reference, just to see how people do it? And there aren't a lot of them out there. They have forests, but not bamboo forests, and I think there's a good reason for that because it's hard to do. You know, it's not that easy to do. You can, of course, you can simplify everything, but what I have in my head and what I want to do, I want to make it a real art piece. Yeah, I have to get better. I have to work on my skills again. So, yeah, that's my honorable mention for Jesse. He's the most patient guy, and this is the first time that anybody paid that much for a mangafy. I also have to mention that it's also full out because normally I just draw the persons, the characters, and sometimes a little bit of background or stuff like it. But like this and this scale, like high quality, and you want to print it on his room and stuff like that. I haven't done it like that before for a mangafy. So that's yeah, that's something to that really sticks out and it's worth to be mentioned. So thank you, Jess, for still waiting. Thank you for your patience. I'm still working on it, and it's all I want to say almost finished, but I'm getting there. I think it still needs a couple work, but I'll keep you updated. It won't. Yeah, okay. Let's just leave it at that. Then I want to talk about, guys. I'm sorry, it's already 24 minutes. I hope you can, you know, stick with me. I said I want to do it short, but I just can't. I just can't. I have a problem. I have a problem. If I start talking, I just it's like a waterfall. Projects that I did. That's also because looking back at 2017, there was a time like I was full time raising my kids, which is a whole different level, which I also share in the vlog videos, which I'm very grateful for and really thankful for. But the projects that I did in between, there's a magazine out here in Holland, and that's called the Anyway. Anyways, it's number 50. It's really something to be celebrated. It's a magazine being totally created by everything that's by everyone that's working voluntarily on this magazine. It's a magazine all about J-pop, a lot of anime and manga, but reviews, articles, stuff like that. Some spotlights about some of the artists, games, and all that kind of stuff. But what I do is I make a short strip for it. It comes out 4 times a year, so every quarter. And I do a short strip for that in there also for free. But this is a strip about Goku and his adventures. And it's a fun thing to do. I also did one for when Breath of the Wild, Zelda came out the game. I did one for that and some other types. So I already did 4. But that's what I also been doing in 2017, working on the Anyway. It's a small project, but really rewarding for some reason. Really like to contribute my part to the anime society here in Holland. But also it's fun to do. You know, also try to challenge myself and stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing. I did, and I also talked about this in the vlog, but I'll talk about it a bit more, is for the Fuse magazine. That's also a company here in Holland. There's a magazine coming out it was supposed to be coming out in this year, somewhere in October. They reviewed it. They reviewed the O magazine. It's the first time doing it, actually. Uh, and they're a couple of young guys, and they want to create a magazine that's not full of ads. And because every magazine is, I think maybe 50% is full of ads, and for a reason, because they have to sponsor or finance the magazines. But this magazine, which has nothing to do with manga, by the way, or anime, but this is a magazine that they want to spotlight, like YouTubers here in Holland, like familiar YouTubers. And there was one YouTuber which really fond of manga and anime, and they came to me for some reason. I have no idea how they find me or found me, but they did. And they were like, okay, we want your drawings for his interview, for being in the magazine, because normally in a magazine it's full of pictures of the person and forests and more of his hobbies and stuff like that, and giving impressions of the person. And now they wanted just manga drawings, just to have more, because he was really a fan of that. So I did him like a manga his character, but then in different settings and in histories, because it's also about the background of their lives, of how they became YouTuber, but also the struggles and the dark side, the dark part, the dark days of their past. So I drew like their moments of those dark days, dark moments, and turn them into a manga element. And I'll show you one image that I did, because it's all NDA. I can't share it because the magazine is not out. But there's one picture that the person that I did is Feroz of yeah, he's got his own thing, Feroz. And he shared it on Instagram, so I'm thinking like, okay, if he can share it, then I can share the same picture. So I'll show you this image, and this image is just one of it's just a part of a bigger, like a poster, which is pretty cool, and it's going to be amazing. I've seen the magazine coming to life. They're still working on it, just getting the flaws and the bugs out. But I think it's really a unique concept, especially if they're not adding ads into it, just an ad-free magazine. Just have the content and get into it. That's really a really cool, a fresh way of looking at a magazine. So that's still coming out in 2018. Really looking forward to that. But that's something I've been working on for years back. Another one that I did, that was also what I talked about in the vlogs, is the movie. Like I did a movie. I didn't do a movie. I was asked to be in a movie, like the star of the movie. But that's also still going on, because that's how the movie business works, is that it's not just, well, if it's greenlit then you start going, but it's not greenlit yet. They're still getting their finance, their companies together and getting finance together. But I've been through the auditions in Birmingham, so I flew over, going to Birmingham, did an audition for the part, and then they were like, okay, you are the guy for that. And we want to do workshops with you, just to figure out if it works with what we have in mind and with your co-star and stuff like that. So I did that, which was a great experience, because not only did I flew over and felt like I was a star all of a sudden, but also because the crew was great. The guys that have the initial idea, the directors and the writers of that movie, was really great. They're really great guys, and like more friends relationship, really easygoing, and I felt really welcome. Like also in the city, they showed me around in Birmingham. It's a pretty cool place actually. It's different. I've not flown to England before, and this was the first time. But it's the accent is also very different from all the other accents that they have in England. So it was really hard in the first couple of, well, the first day especially, is just to figuring out what they are saying, just trying to decipher that. But once you get into it, it get easier and easier. But yeah, that was really great. Just being in one location and figuring scenes out. And I never did like on that level like acting. I like I said and shared in the videos of vlogs. I did some videos for myself. I always wanted to be a director, and I did some acting for myself, but not with others. Just not getting it out. So that was really interesting also for myself to see like, can I do it? I don't know. And I always find the challenge and also find the fun side in things. So I'm always open for new stuff to come along and just jump into it and just see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, then well, then it didn't work out. You know, it's not that bad. But if it works out, yeah, that's great. It's great for your experience. It's great for your name getting out there. It's great for connections. Great for the experience, for the moment. Just so many great things. And that's what I want to do more in 2018. But I'll get into that just in a second. Now the other project that I did, and I haven't shared it in the vlogs because it came really after that. I look a bit like a bum actually. I have to go to the barber. After that is a project for a fish named Fred. Now, a fish named Fred is a clothing design brand here in Holland, but they're also internationally. And they have these really cool designs, like prints on shirts and like a pattern, and they got their own style. You can look them up. A fish named Fred. Mostly blouses and blazers and stuff like that. And they also, again, you know, my name runs around in Holland like I'm a manga artist or the manga artist, which is quite cool. I don't know if that's true actually, but I heard that I'm hearing that from different people. Like, he's the guy if you want to go for manga and anime and stuff like that. This is the guy you want to go for, which is really great because I think I'm that guy. But especially Holland isn't a very big place, so yeah, you can stick out that easily or more easily, and I have different connections. And this one came in because of a connection I have on Facebook. Like, I have a guy that I know him on Facebook. I don't know him personally, but he was like, okay, I normally do the design of these shirts, but he asked for specific manga and anime. And yeah, you're the guy, man. If I don't want to take that place or that position, I just told him you're the guy if you want to go for manga and anime. So that was really cool, and I want to thank you. It's Dimitri Janssen. So I already thanked him, but thank you again for that opportunity, because it was a really great project to work on. What I did was they just asked me like, okay, we want manga elements and some manga-ish, like maybe panels. They didn't really had a fixed idea like what it's supposed to be, but what they wanted was just a pattern on the shirt, and that comes back. You know, that's what a pattern does. But they have in the winter 2018 they have this collection coming out. It's really focused on Japanese, like they have sushi rolls and chopsticks and I don't know, all these kind of patterns in any way on their shirt, and they were like, we want that's the only thing that's missing, and can you design something like that? So we went over back and forth with ideas, and I came with an idea just to, if you really want to go manga, you know, you should do it black and white, but they're all into color. So I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do is what you'll see in the Shonen Jump, and if they have a special edition or maybe the first time of their work, they do a couple of pages in color, but they do it in like markers, you know, the Copic markers and stuff like that. So so I did, because I'm not working traditionally, which I come back in a couple of seconds, and I have a surprise for that. is I recreated it on my tablet. Like I work digital, but I tried to recreate the colors, make it look like it was traditional, which was a really big challenge. I used different brushes and stuff like that. I think result is very amazing. I'll share this image with you guys because it's also been shared on socials. So it's already been shared a lot. Like, okay, I can share it as well, and I'll share this image as well as the black and white version because I think it's really awesome. Um, and it won't spoil the whole pattern that's on the shirt because that's much more coming on it. But I did 4 manga pages, all these great panels, and they have their own like mascot. A fish named Fred, so they have Fred, the fish, like a goldfish, kind of fish, as a mascot, and I turned him into a manga character and have him have great powers and battle him some kind of monsters and save the damsel in distress because I thought, okay, you want to make it easy going for people that came into the store. If people are coming in the store and they have never seen manga and stuff like that, they know what manga is, but you don't want to bring it full force like this is what manga is and show them all these obscure scenes and stuff that we as fans get hyped about, because you want to have a smooth introduction, and most of us did that with Dragon Balls, and I think Dragon Balls is one of the series that's really easy going. If you're not familiar with manga or you know something about it but you're not into it that well, then Dragon Balls is a very easygoing series to get you into that, and most of us did back in the days. Naruto was in the previous generation, and now Heroes Academy and stuff like that. But yeah, so I did like very typical, like you got a damsel in distress, you got a monster, he's got a fight, and he's got powers, and this is the main character because it's already weird, like seeing a guy with a fish hat and have a normal man body, but just play with that a bit. So I designed some manga pages, brought them all together and colored them, and that's going to be turned into a pattern and it's going to be on shirts and or blouses and stuff like that. And I can't wait to show you guys that, but that's for winter 2018, so we still have to wait a couple of months, and then I can show you, and I'll be sitting here making a video with having the shirt on, and how cool would that be. And I hope they have enough so you can order them as well by that time. But I'll make sure that I'll show you that. So, but that's been a blast of a project. That's really cool and great. And then to shut up, well, to come to the end, give closure to 2017, is just by the end. I get another contact by Marissa Del Prasines, one of she's really amazing. It's a really amazing person. Marissa is. She's also from the Netherlands. I know her a bit personal, not very personal, but I worked with her on a magazine before when we did our own pieces. iPod Boy Chapter 4 has been in there, and she was one of the how do you call that? Editors on the magazine. And on conventions I see her a lot, so we bump into each other now and then, and she was like, okay, they're a company, Sakura, and maybe, probably you guys know this, but they're all around the world, but Sakura Europe, they contacted me and they were like, okay, we got you from Marissa, if the same story again, like if we want manga and really want to go for that really manga style, you are the guy for that. And I can't thank these people enough, you know, that are really recommending me to these companies and projects and stuff like that, because they can earn their own money by doing it themselves, but still they they just pass it on to me, which I'm really grateful for. So thank you guys for that. yeah, that's it's really an honor as well. But what they did is like the company came to me with the contact of Mariska, and she was like, "Okay, what is your schedule in January, the end of January?" Yeah, okay, I've got nothing on my plate then, so it's still available. She's like, "Okay, then I'll book you. You're coming to Frankfurt in Germany. You go all the way there, and you'll be there and drawing on this convention for us if you like to." I was like, "Okay, yeah, cool, but I have no idea who you guys are." So yeah, we're from Sakurai. If you don't know it, we're making pens and all other kinds of materials for manga creators, for manga artists. And I was like, "Oh yeah, it looked familiar, but I couldn't recognize it." Like, and after the call, because I couldn't, yeah, I was like, "Okay, yeah, just send me some," or she was like, "We'll send you some tools and some materials, and you can work with it." Are you still working traditionally? Not really. Like I'm drawing full digital now. So she was, "Oh, okay," but yeah, I drew my entire life till 2011 traditionally. So it's not that it's something new to me. But yeah, would you be like the face of our pens? You know, because that's what we're asking you actually, is that you'll be the face. We want a manga artist that's familiar with our projects, that really likes it, because you have to be honest about it. So we're going to send you like these tools. You can try them out and see if it works for you, and then if it works for you, you can yeah, you can go to this convention and be our face of our brand. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, just send me the tools and I'll think about it," and stuff like that. So I hang up and I was like, "Sakura Band," and I'm gonna look them up. And I looked them up and I just saw the logo and I saw the pants, and then it all rushes back to me like in a flashback. And then I saw them. The first image that got into my head was the interview that I did with Takeshi a few years ago, which did Okami Right. I knew that he worked with micropants and that he also used the same brand. And I was like, "Oh, of course, what a sucker I am. How could I miss this? That Sakura is calling me like a manga artist. Do you know manga pants?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know manga pants." Of course, I knew these. I knew these pants. You know. Oh man, I feel so stupid about that. So I met them and I corrected them immediately, like, or myself immediately, like, "Oh, sorry, I of course I know these bands, you know, of course I know who you guys are. It would be an honor, you know, it would be an honor to draw for you guys. I still want those tools though, just to get those, well, to have that experience again, to draw on paper." Because it's been years. It's like 2011, 2017, maybe 18 now. It's like 6, 7 years I haven't drew on paper. Yeah, I drew like on vacation some couple of stuff with a ballpoint pen, but not with tools and not with the skills that I have now, because it's so much different from what I did in 2011. So they gave me this bag, this enormous bag with all kind of tools, which is, and I was sitting there and they were spreading out all these tools, which are incredible and amazing. And they were like, "Okay, just look how they are." So I get this koi watercolor set, which is great. So I can color stuff. I got other stuff like gel pens, just to figure things out. These are the first things they did. Those are like crayons, like sort of a pastel, oil pastels. So those are great. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I don't know if it's my style, but hey, if you like to express and be artistic, I'm gonna give it a try. Maybe not in a couple of months, but maybe in some vacation that I have, and just swing at it. But the things that are mostly focused on are these manga pigment sets, and those are really incredible. Those are these kind of sets, and Marissa that I know that gave me the contact, she drew this. But yeah, those are pens. Like it's the blackest ink. It's waterproof. It's also created in Japan. But yeah, those are the microns, if you can say, the fine liners, and which are really great. You have these different thickness that you have, and of course I'm biased now because I'm gonna draw for them. But I think it's incredible. Not only that they gave me all these tools to work with. These are also for writing, your daily writing, but also cool to shake things up a bit. Here are other micron pens and fine liners. Oh, sorry. The brush set. And some color fine liners, which are pretty cool. I didn't even knew you had different color fine liners. And some white jelly roll, so you can also erase things. So if you go with this pen, go over your black lines, you can make it white again, which is pretty handy. Yeah. What is this? I scratched myself. Yeah, there's so much. Some gray brush pens is really great. If you, I don't know if you know Kim. I have to say it correctly. Kim Jun. Ah man, I have him on Instagram. He's an amazing artist, and I think he's from China. He's familiar all over the world, and he uses something similar to this. His art is so amazing because he doesn't use like pencils first, just to have these sketches out. He's drawing them with these ink lines with a sort of brush pen, some kind of brush pen, and he draw masterpieces and in one go, and masterpieces. Kim Young Ji, I think, or Kim Young Genius, Kim Young Ji. Comment section, guys, share it. I'm stupid for not having it on the go, but that guy is amazing. These color sets, like real big color sets of, I really have to try them out. I have the same one for, where do we have it? Here. It's all for also in the manga set for the skin tones and different colors that you want to add to it. Really great. Well, it goes on and on. I'll just quickly show it because the whole bag is so full. Like these pens, gel pens, and they're not all great for making manga, of course not. But it's just the things that they do, and you just wanted me to be recognized with the products that they make, and like the pens, and the feeling like, okay, this is all the stuff that we do, and maybe you can find some stuff that works for you, and maybe not, but you have these tools just to know what we all do, and maybe you can create something because you're a creative guy. You can create something cool with it, and I think I can definitely create something cool with it. Just, you know, especially for on that convention that I'm going to be on. And that's going to be on, I have to get the list because I don't know it on top of my head. It's the 26th till the 30th of January, so this month. It's on the Paper World Fair in Frankfurt in Germany. So if you happen to be around, or you live in Germany, around the corner, I don't know, pop on by, say hi. That would be really cool. Just to greet you guys, just if you guys are fans of the show or of my work or whatever, and just say hi. You probably have to buy a ticket for it, but I think if it's a paper wolf, I have never been on it, or I've seen it or something like that, but I think it's promising, and there are a lot of creative stuff, I can tell you for that. So that's really interesting. A small pocket watercolor set, more micron pens. It goes on and on and on. I'm still not ready. It's like gel pens again, paper. Here also a couple of Pigma pens. Is an old case that they still have. They're all replacing into these new shiny cases, which are pretty cool. I think it's really cool to see. Sorry. And here you can see a little bit of a brochure, like, okay, the original from Japan, you get all those pens in there, and stuff like that. Let me just quickly show it. So that's really cool. So I'm gonna draw for Sakura, guys, on the end of January in Frankfurt, on a convention, which is a great start for 2018. And I'm excited and happy and honored and thankful and grateful to be on that convention and to have this opportunity. So again, thank you for giving me that. And I'll keep you guys posted. Definitely keep you guys updated. Maybe I'll do a live video, maybe on my Instagram, maybe on YouTube. I don't know for sure, but definitely on Instagram. Definitely follow me, or How to Bam on Instagram, and I'll hook you guys up how that went or goes. Yeah, now I have all these tools, which isn't very smart. And I did one drawing, and that's just the pencil lines. Is this, and I think I shared it on Instagram, and I think it worked out pretty good. I still have to work out a lot of more details, but it's like three detectives. I just made up a story with it because it helps me get those details in there more. So I thought about three detectives in like a dystopian neon Tokyo kind of futuristic landscape and technology, like and he's looking at a sushi roll. She's mostly in love with him, and he's like a kind of tiger man, and they're on a wing up a garbage flight vehicle investigating a murder scene. And if you can look closely here, you see that the driver, or the pilot, is has fallen asleep, and like a SWAT team is trying to barge in to his cockpit. And yeah, I still have to work out the details, and then I'm gonna ink it. But I think I'm gonna save this piece for on the convention, just to show how the tools work on this masterpiece. Masterpiece. But on that piece, and how it comes to life. Like, yeah, I think those tools are really great, and really wonderful, and help if you're not fond of making a mess with traditional, really the traditional method of making manga, like the G-pen and inking and dipping it in and creating a mess. And well, it has benefits, but it also has negatives. And I think these pens, for the day of age that you still want to use traditional methods, so you don't have the budget to go digital, I think these pens work great for that. And I'm going to discover it. I'm gonna try some out this week. By the end of this week, I'm gonna do a video for Sakura, like a promotional video. They're going to record me drawing some pieces, getting together just some sketches, and let me work on the material bit, and they show it for promotional purposes, yeah, and information purposes, and probably share it on the convention as well. But yeah, that's what I'm going to focus on in this month as well. And of course, all the manga yourself stuff I have, and I still have running. I still have to finish, which I have to work on now, actually. So I'm gonna just go over it really quick. Yeah, right. But I'm trying to wrap the things up. So yeah, that's for that. I just wanted to share some 2018, because we're making a transfer 2018 already. Like, I want to share some 2018 resolutions with you guys. I just wanted to share with you like what I've experienced in 2017, what helped me a lot, because many of you guys probably don't know this about me, because yeah, you see me on YouTube and I talk a lot, is I'm actually a really introvert guy. I'm like you guys, you know, like among artists, we are pretty shy, and I like to lock myself in my home or in my workstation, just drawing, just get everything that's going on inside here and here, like emotional, but also my thought process, and have that out there. And that's really my safety zone, my environment. And I've never been very much of a talkative and a social guy. Like, I did work, like in the very early days. I worked in the nightlife, bartender, and working my way up from busboy, like hanging coats, to getting those glasses, you know, till being a bartender, and so on. Um, and I did go out like a lot in my earlier days, and had friends and stuff like that. But I never felt very comfortable in that scene, in the nightlife. Like I said, I'm really an introvert guy actually, and many friends and relatives and people around me know this about me, that I can be pretty shy and more humble and more, well, more withdrawn in. And how to bam really helps me with that. You know, it's just making videos, just go out there, just talk more, and it's it's not always easy for me. I have days when I feel like, especially when I haven't slept that much, when I have a couple hours of sleep, I'm a more of a grouchy and grumpy inside, and I'm really not a talkative guy. But the big difference for me in 2017 and my family has been a very big part in that, and also in the years before, is that when you have kids, you're spending more time talking to them and more being talkative. So maybe this is also for you guys, is if you're, if you know those qualities, you're introverted and you don't like talking to people. I hate phone calls, for example. I hate, if my phone rings, it's like an anxiety attack, you know. It's like, no, man, I have to pick this up. And especially if you don't know the number, you're like, who the hell is gonna call me now? What? And most, like 8 of the 10 times, like some sort of sale call that you don't want to answer, and then it's very easy. Like, I don't want to talk to you guys. But if it's something else, then you have to do the whole social thing actually. But it's okay. There. I'm a Gemini, my star sign. So there's both ways. And one way, I want to be that social guy. I want to have a lot of friends. I want to talk a lot. I want to be the center of attention. And on the other side, I would just want to hide. You know, I just want to put a blanket on me. Then I wanted to be winter and cold outside because I love the warmth. But then I want to be dark and stormy, and maybe apocalypse going outside, and just being inside and doing games and focus on my own stuff. But yeah, my family really, having kids really helps, because you're talking to your kids and you play with them, and you get the most and the best out of yourself. And that's something, one of my 2018 resolutions is for myself, is getting more, being more talkative, but not in a way like pretending. It's not like I have to push myself like to do it, because you always have to push myself. Like making these videos is also a way of pushing yourself to do it, but doing it in a way that's more honest. And I probably, or you probably noticed a big change from seeing my first video, like the prep yourself video, which was all scripted, and the first couple of mailbag videos were all scripted, and then they were becoming more natural, because I felt like, no, I don't want to do this whole scripting, because there was also a lot of effort in there. So production wise and effective wise, it wasn't very smart to do. But also I wanted to share more of who I am, and there was this stuff in there in the script, like who I am, but it was all, yeah, like I said, scripted, so you have to do. But now I just wanted to share these guys, like share these guys. What the hell. I just want to share this myself more with you guys. Um, like who I am and what my thoughts are and you know me. So I want to do that more in 2018 and be more honest and more thankful for the things that I get because I tend to take things for granted sometimes a bit. And I think I want to, no, I know I want to speak it out more to persons, like giving compliments, you know. And that's what I'm about to do is like going back to all these years is my family, like my wife and my two kids really helped me. Not their conscience, not like they're teaching me and we sit in a class and like, okay, now you have to be more talkative or something like that. But no, they really helped me in an unconscious way, just being their selves, getting the best out of me, being a better man, being a better person. And yeah, I really am thankful for that. So thank you, guys, girls, actually girls because it's all girls, for getting the best out of me, and I hope to be more reflectional in 2018, learn more to myself, putting the mirror to myself more, and that's I've always been that kind of person, like looking to myself and be critical because that's what as an artist you do. But then at your work, sometimes at yourself, and then you're having feeling of being you're not really self-assured. You know, you have doubts about yourself and all that stuff. Uh, but I want to be more reflectional and be more positive, more energetic, but have that I can change like this. You know, that's one of the qualities that I have. So I can maybe I'll name this video like honest talk. You know, because I've been talking for an hour and I said to keep this short. So maybe I'll change the intro and just say like, guys, it's gonna be an hour, more of an hour of a video about honest talk. Now you know who I am and stuff like that. Maybe you're not waiting for it, but click the video if you want it. But yeah, that's me, you know. So me is like changing constantly. I in my years I've been through a lot of shit and happy things of course as well. But just learning from them, being very like a reflectional in a way, like looking at yourself, what you're doing, reflecting and gain like you have to learn from it and yeah, that's what my family did a lot to me, like also looking around in your circles, looking around to other people that you have in your circles and making decisions if those persons are the best for you or not, if they help you with who you are and who you're with your goals, who you're going to be with, or are they withholding you and are you, you know, keeping you in that safety zone of who you are. So yeah, I want to be more open, more outgoing, more talkative and stuff like that, and be more transparent. You know, if I don't like something that I see or that you are saying, that I'm going to talk immediately about it. And I've been known to do that. But then not in a way that's constructive at all times. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I'm just sometimes, as my wife helped me a lot with that. Like she's really like that. She's if something bothers her, she says it in an instant, but also in a constructive way, mostly, not always, but mostly. And I saw that quality, and I was like, wow, that's one of the qualities I always wanted to have, but never dared to do. You know, it's something that I always see with people, and it's like she is the voice of many people's thoughts. You know, when you see something and you think, I want to say it, but man, I don't know if that person's gonna feel well. I don't know if it's gonna land or not. And she's just saying it, and it surprises everybody in the room. Like, wow, oh, she's a really good person. She's a really cool person, because I wanted to say that, but I never dared to do that. She's that kind of person, and I trying to change myself into that as well, to have that quality as well. Like, I think it's really inspirational, and it's more constructive for your communication as persons as well. Like, if you can just be honest about it, but still say it in a way that doesn't hurt the other person, and help them in a way. Like, okay, not in a way like you're meddling with their affairs, but more like, hey, okay, is it okay if I say this to you? Many people appreciate it, and I'll give you one example. It's like, you can have like, if a person just bends over and you see their tongue just of a woman just sticking out. She's the person to tell you that, like, she's maybe you should fix that, or just pull your pants a bit up. But there are so many people that don't dare to do that. They're like, I don't know, I'm gonna say that, or if you have something in your teeth, like, yeah, I would appreciate it, I think you would appreciate it as well. If somebody just say it, like, there's something between your teeth, I don't know, maybe you should just stick it out, instead of you looking like an asshole the entire day. But yeah, I think those qualities are really, really great, and I think you can relate to me. Like, if you're an introvert person, you're not that talkative, and you're not that social, and you're not that you don't want to be. Sometimes you want to be, and sometimes you want to have friends, but you just don't. You don't know how, or you don't know how to start a conversation, which makes you awkward and all stuff like that. So I want to be more outgoing, and more social. So that's a bit of honest talk, and more about me. So yeah, that's what my plans are. About how to BAM, if I am talking about 2018 resolutions of how to BAM, I did that poll, like, if you want to, what you guys want to see, because I always had plans, like, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. I like to work on 3,000 million different things, and I make it longer than it's necessary, like these videos. And I hope you can appreciate it, like talking that much, because going off the bat and saying, like, this is gonna be a short video, I'm gonna keep it short, and it's already an hour. Like, I wanted to make it within 10 minutes, and now it's an hour and 10 minutes. That's not really constructive, It's not a really good foresight to give you guys, and I think that's the problem with a lot of things that I have, what I also want to work on, but also for how to BAM. It's like, I want to focus on what's important, the priorities, and one of the priorities for how to BAM is you guys, like, what you want. So I did that poll, and what sticked out. Well, not that much, because it was almost a tie with how to make story for your manga, and making your art look more pro, which I thought those are two topics where I can see them a lot on the results, like if you the Google search results and the YouTube search results, but also the most questions that I get on socials and on YouTube. It's like, how did you do that, man? And can you make a video about how can I make my art look greater, and how can you make stories and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put these in the poll for sure. And yeah, so stories sticked out just by a little bit. So I'm gonna do and I'll focus on that one in particular, and I won't do another video before I do that one. Maybe these kind of videos, like I'll share my work, or I'll share my thoughts and stuff like that, or updates. Of course, those kind of videos can go in between, but really the editing videos, like having it also entertaining and come together more professionally, like it's quality stuff. Yeah, that's going to be the story version, and I gave a little update like about the vlogs, like the results. I did a video about that. I think it's going to be 5 videos of stories. I don't know for sure because I really have to work them out. But when I did the prep yourself video, I knew story was always the second one. Like that's where you start when you want to go with your manga. You know, when you want to craft a manga, then story is the first thing that you need before you get something on paper. So story has always been something that I should do, and I had written scripts like I did for Prep Yourself. It was all scripted. I did write a script for story as well, but looking back at it, like maybe a year ago or something, looking back at that script, I was like, no, there's some things missing in there, and I think I should break them up in a couple of pieces because there are so many subjects to go, because story is so complex. You don't have, you know, maybe you realize that, but maybe you also you don't see it that in perspective that well, because story is not only your concept what you're working on, it's also the dialogues, but it's also the way of how there's 2 different ways of making story and making storytelling, and they can be confusing and seen as one, but those are really different kind of things. And the storytelling has more to do with the visual aspect, like how are you, what are you going to bring on screen to land your story better and have it also in an artistic approach as well. So there's a bit of an artistic and creative side. The story is also creative, but also have the story in there as well. So it's a great story, like great concept, like in overall, and then you have the way of how you're going to tell your story, and that's pretty difficult to do. And before that, I didn't really had, because it's best to tell that, to share that if you have some kind of examples to show. Like, I don't want to use like oh, this is Naruto and this is a manga of Naruto and they did blah 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 blah, because I don't know the story behind it. You know, of course everybody knows the story about Naruto, and you can do the research by yourself. You can just look up every manga that there is that you have in your shelf, or maybe online, or wherever you read manga. Just open it and understand. Like I began with the video in this video in the very beginning. It's like asking yourself, like I did, how I create a manga. It's like asking yourself the question why. So why did they use these effect lines and stuff like that? But it also works for stories. So why do they use start with this perspective or with this character, and why does he say this and that? So you can figure it out yourself a bit, but there's also a pattern in there, and there's ways of structure to tell with your story, and that's a way of that you really need examples for that. And I think I'm going to use I Put a Boy for that now, because I think I Put a Boy is on a phase and a moment of its existence that it's not going to continue the way as it is. I've looked at it a couple of times, and I think no, I Put a Boy is it's a wonderful story. I think it's a great story I want to go to. But things have changed in my life, and I think I want to change and add that to the story as well, and it doesn't fit the story as it is now. And not only that, I'm very critical of my work, and I think could do a ton of better job with the first chapter, because it's not a very good chapter to introduce my manga with the characters or whatever. You're getting you're thrown in there, and you have to figure it out like yourself. There's just so many questions, and I wanted those questions to be answered in a couple of chapters that you read. But the first chapter is so dependent if the readers are gonna read the second one and the third one and the fourth one. I'm still a bit sick, guys, so sorry for that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna reboot the whole iPod Boy stuff. Maybe change it into something else completely, and leave elements that I really liked about it still intact. But I think it's a really great way of using iPod Boy now as an example of how you can write your story. Just sharing my knowledge of why I did some of the decisions I did, but at the same time look at how storytelling can be done really effective, and because there is not a one way, like there's not a formula like, okay, this is how you can make story, or this is how storytelling goes. There, of course, there's it's like drawing. You know, if you are if you are an experienced draw artist and you have done worked with a couple of pens, then you know how these pens flow and then how you do it, and that's different from when you first time you do anything like that. And if you are accustomed to that and build all that experience from years, then you know what kind of lines work best for the shapes that you're going to use, and what kind of colors work with that and lighting and stuff like that. And if you don't have that knowledge, you're just doing stuff. You like mimicking stuff and copying stuff. And that's where storytelling is so difficult. Is storytelling works if you know these crafts, and those can be told in teachings, and then you have to work with them, then you have to play with them, but you have to make it your own, and that's the most difficult stuff, because I can't give you like, okay, you have these and these and these ingredients and I'm gonna give it to you and now you can create your story. No, it doesn't work like that. It's much more, it's much more harder. So we're going into the whole depth of why you're doing stuff, and that's what How to Bam always have been. It's like, it's not a channel, it's not a platform like where you can go and see, okay, this is a tutorial, and if you do it like this, then you'll have a great manga. No, it's always the why. That's what Manga Yourself, sorry. That's what How to Bam always been, has been. It's like, prep yourself. The first video has been like, why? Why should you start? And if you're gonna start, what ingredients do you need for yourself to make up how you can put it up, or how you can make it into a long lasting result, and what points do you have to look. But you first have to go to the why. Why do you need to do this? Why do you have to make it here and not there? And why are you starting your manga in the first place? And that's the same for storytelling. It's not stripping the whole why are you creating stories, well, maybe a bit, but also why are you doing the stuff that you do? Why do you write a dialogue like this? Isn't it like cliche to write this? Are you writing it now because you've seen it in other stories and you're copying kind of stuff and you think that works? Or do you understand why you are making your story? Is it for the characters? Well, stuff like that. So that's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be so long that I think that's going to need a couple of episodes for that. So that's about the story video that I'm still going to do and going to do first. Then, and that's the next question, because I also get the other side that all the people that voted for the other one is making your art look more pro. It's like, okay, but does it mean that we don't get that video anymore? Yeah, of course, I'm gonna work on that video also, but after the story. So I'm definitely going to do that video as well, of how you make your art more pro, because there are a couple of things that I've learned in my experience of drawing manga and drawing manga yourself also in all these times, is that these kind of little details that make a really big change and a really big difference in how to make it look more professional. And those are not the things that many people share a lot. I think I don't see them on YouTube. Like Mark Crilly, for example, he really structures his drawings, like doing in boxes and having measurements and stuff like that, which is great and really works as well. But I think for making it more pro, there are kind of tips and guidelines that can really sum up, like, okay, you have almost like these 5 things or these 10 things that you can do that really help to make it bring to a different level. which is also really great. So yeah, I'm still gonna do that as well, but after the storytelling. Then I want to share you like just a little bit, like since we're honest talking and stuff like that, is what would my schedule of how to BAM look like if I have all the financial resources, if I would have all the well, also the making, the production resources available, like if I have more people working on it, and how to BAM would be that platform, how would it look like? I think there would be 5 or 6 videos in a week, so a video each day except for maybe the Sunday or maybe the Saturday, and have different videos. And I wrote it down a bit. It's like on Monday, we could see like the main videos. Like there you would have one of the story videos, and then Monday, next week on Monday, you have the part 2 of that. Then on Tuesday, I would do the vlogs, like vlogging videos, because I first thought like we were merging them, and because it's easier to tell, and I did that. The top 5 free apps for your phone or for making manga, which worked great, which is cool because I can talk a bit make jokes and stuff like that, and also have it entertaining and informative. But at the same time, I think there's still a difference because vlogs are more of my personal stuff, my personal shit. And like I'm doing now in this video, that would be more vlog style. But this video is not that entertaining. This video is all, I'm gonna do the intro different. I'm gonna do the intro different. So by the time you're seeing this video, it was a totally different video, a totally different introduction, and maybe I'll keep it in just for jokes. But this video has been so long; it's like an hour and a half, and I'm gonna cut it in half. So I've set 6 minutes to wrap it up. So Tuesday, vlog videos, and it's more personal, like Mustiaki. I'm gonna share my projects, maybe more of my insights, and more of the back screen stuff and how I do things. So Monday, official stuff that everybody wants to know and share, like all how to make manga. Tuesday, vlogging stuff, and more personal. Then Wednesday, I thought about bits, and I haven't talked about this with anyone, but that's how to BAM bits would be a small videos of I think less of a minute or minute and a half of just what you tips. Actually, the did you know videos, like did you know, and those could be things that you already knew, like did you know that you could use these deleter papers that they have manga paper for making manga. That could be just that. Or did you know that you could use a G-pen? And those are kind of tips and tricks, because there's also other things that I find in my process working that I think, oh, those are things that are nice to share, but I don't want to make a whole video about it, because it's just a little tip, you know, and I can write about it or do it on Instagram, stuff like that. But it would be much funnier to do it in a short video, just by 1 minute, just show you or cover it and share it with you guys. So I think that is really great as well, just bits. Then on, let me see, I changed this thing up, I think, is on Thursday, I'll do the manga yourself video like I did, that you see me drawing and do all these mangafications, and that's great because I can work on a mangafication and also video it, just record it and share it with you guys and have a great video. Then on Friday we bring Mailbag in, because I think that's still a really great show. It's not very popular. It's not been popular in the polls. It's really been the lowest. Maybe one person shared, oh, I want a Mailbag back. But I think Mailbag is a really great platform for you guys to ask me anything. Like, if you have got a question that I didn't cover it in any of these videos and you want to have it covered, then yeah, then the Mailbag is great. And then on Sunday, and maybe I'll tie this in with Mailbag, is a video, is like a live video. like a live streaming video. I'll just record like me drawing or being in a cafe drinking coffee somewhere. But I'll just answer questions, or maybe I'll invite people. Like Instagram as a cool how do you call it? Yeah, like a cool. Come on, it's my cold. It's bothering me. It's got a cool stuff like a gadget in there worked in that you can invite your people in like a chat room that you can talk to each other. That would be pretty cool just to talk with you guys, just be one on one, and maybe if you've got questions, then you can get them answered, or just talk about it. It's really 1 hour and a half. I've been talking nonstop, so my mouth is being a bit dry, and also I'm getting tired. I can't keep this up. Like I said, I'm an introvert guy. I'm not an outrovert guy. I'm not a guy who talks all the time. So that would be my schedule. Like I'll put this on just for jokes on Instagram as well. But that's a schedule, like a dystopian future. Like this is how to bam would be if it got a lot of viewers and I could make money out of it. That's my income mainly. That's what how to bam would look like, and that's what my schedule of how to bam would look like. So yeah, I'm really curious. Would that be an interesting thing for you? Would you like to see a video each day, but of course a different video each day, or not? Let me know in the comment section. And then last time, yeah, and then the last thing I want to ask you guys is, my money is running out. Okay, so my kids, my older daughter is going to school already. My youngest is almost going to like some sort of daycare, so I'll having more free time on my hand. But like I said, money is running out. So there's a new. Sorry, this is gonna be 10 minutes. I can feel it. This is gonna be 10 minutes at least. There's another turning point in my life again, where I have to choose. Like I can choose to go for how to bam all out, not knowing, taking an enormous risk, not knowing if it's going to bring in money, because I don't make a lot of money videos. I can be honest about that. Those videos don't give me money. So I have to do it among yourself. That gives me about a bit of money, but not enough to live by, and to raise my kids and do fun stuff and groceries at least. So that's not enough. But I could choose to, because I know it's got a lot of potential. So among yourself, I could build that more. So I could focus on that more, and of course do videos. This is the side of the video stuff. But do that more. So do among yourself more. I can turn that into a full-time job, which is also an enormous risk. Or I could go to Patreon and ask you guys to what you want. I can tie it in with Among Yourself, tie it in with How to Bam, give more instruction videos, and maybe I can do like the story videos, like the vision, like I had the whole schedule, work towards that more and put it on Patreon, and have ask you guys if you would support me, and you have lessons, and I really have to build this up, because these are just thoughts. I haven't really worked this out, but just yeah, giving content to you to help you making manga, like building almost a manga school, like a manga university. That's always been my end game, my end goal with How to Bam, is like going to make yeah, like a school, where people can really learn, like bring in artists, bring in the professionals from Japan, and have it internationally based, and you can have workshops, and stuff like that. Really, teaching is really helpful. But that's for the long run. But something like that, like giving you lessons, giving you instructions, maybe with books, maybe with videos, on Patreon and learn from that, would that be something that you would be interested in? I have no idea. I have no idea if you would pay for something like that, if you would pay maybe $1, maybe $5 for that, or maybe you don't have money because you're still studying. But hey, if you're, maybe you can ask your parents. Maybe there's some money and they can see the benefit, like, oh, it's just $5 for each month, and he can have a lot of knowledge about making not only manga but creating art and be creative and making stories and stuff like that. So if it really contributes to your passion, to your hobby, it's like that. It's like you're going to a hobby, you know. It's like soccer, and you do kind of sports. You have this as well, and maybe it will be a bit more expensive, maybe not, maybe it will be cheaper, but that ranges in difference of what kind of package you want. But that could be very interesting, because I hear like White Manga that I interviewed, really cool with a guy. He's opening a Patreon now. It's not like, oh, that's why I'm gonna do start Patreon, because Patreon has always been something on my mind, but I've never knew like if people were interested and if I want to do it. I had the feeling I have to start all over again, because I still have to figure out what I'm gonna do on Patreon. But yeah, the main thing, what the focus line would be how to tie that in on Patreon, like lessons and stuff like that. And with him, he asked his subscribers, like, okay, would you pay for if I'm on Patreon, would you contribute? And people were like, no. The most reactions were like, sorry, I want to do it. I'm gonna share your stuff with others, but I don't have the money for it now because I'm still in college. Which I think is, of course, I understand that. That's something, because what he sells is different what I sell. What he sells is more like, I have a manga and it's for entertainment and stuff like that. But, and not to bring him in a bad light or something, because I really root for that guy. White Manga is one of the guys that's really helping the Western community, the manga Western community, up with Saturday AM. If you haven't read his manga, go and read it. I still have to re-buy the copies. I still have to do that. I think I'm going to do it now, because it's always been in my mind. I really want to have those the manga books of him. And he's one of these, I think, really of those patriots of our time, of our generation, of now. Like, he's working on it independently. Came on, like, Saturday AM discovered him by How to Bam. So hey, I also have a contribute in that. Like Frederick L. Jones, the founder, the CEO of Saturday AM, saw the interview that I did, and he was like, "Oh, this is a great guy to have on the magazine, to work on the magazine, making manga." Contacted him, and then it flourished. And that's something. Those are the things that I get rewarding for. You know, that's really rewarding. Like, bringing these kind of characters, bringing these people together, and there flourishes something else. And I know that it's not that I did it, like I did an ad or something like that, but it helped. You know, it helped sticking White Manga out. You get recognized, and it goes off. And that's what if I can contribute to that, that's beautiful. And I think How to Bam is also a platform for that. So, getting back on track, his Patreon is a bit different, because it's more entertaining value than mine. Mine would be more informative, more teachings, workshops, tutorials, stuff like that. Would you pay then? And maybe you don't have the money because you're in college, but maybe you can have a subscription, like your birthday. Because if you're a real manga artist and you are really serious about that, then what is it worth to you? It's not that I want to take money out of your pockets, because I'm looking just at a constructive way of how can I give my teachings, because I have a lot of knowledge to share with you guys, but I just don't have the time and not the resources to share all my knowledge. I want to share it, but I just don't have it. Like now, I have to work on Manga Yourself. Jesse is still waiting for his drawing, so I can choose to spend my time talking to you guys, which I do in 1.5 hours, maybe more, and then get into it. But every time I talk to you guys, it gets off to another, it gets off time from another thing that I'm occupied with. So it's about priorities and stuff like that. So I don't have the time, the free time. Like, okay, if I spend time in the nighttime or in the evening, like I'm gonna make these videos, it's gonna come off my kids, you know. But I only have these daytimes available, which, like I said, my money is running out. So then Patreon could come up, could jump in, and I could be a patriot or whatever you call it. And I'm really interested if you would support me, or it would be helpful for you. So I'm really curious about that. So let me know in the comment section if Patreon would be a good thing. So this is a crossroad now. If I'm gonna just choose a job, which means that I don't have a lot of time to put videos. Not saying that I'm not gonna make videos. I'm still gonna make videos, but I have to do that somewhere in between. So less videos, but just get an actual job in a creative sector, or be a Patreon, or focus on Manga Yourself. I have no idea. I have 1 month to decide, and yeah, it's exciting times. I'm really looking forward. I'm really excited about what's to come, because I think these options, like these moments that are being given to you, can be looked up on as something that's, oh my God, what am I going to do? And it could be problematic for some people. And it was for me, especially when it comes to finance, because especially when you have a family that you have to take care of, like 2 kids and a wife, and you want to support them with a roof above their head, and have a refrigerator full of food. Yeah, it could be problematic. Like it could, yeah, choke yourself. You know, like it could be very choking. But no, I feel like I've known these moments. You know, I've known these moments as experience in my life. Those are moments that will ask you the best out of yourself. It's going to be a change, and changes can be difficult. Changes can be weird and uncomfortable, get you out of your comfort zone. But I also see these moments of change, and also in a positive way, and that's also that's depending of how you're gonna face it, how you're getting it into perspective. And I, like I said in the beginning of this 2018 resolution, I want to start this year fresh and positive, and yeah, just see it in a new light, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm really curious. Maybe you have an idea of what I should be doing. Share it in the comment section. But I'm really curious if you want to see this Patreon stuff of how to BAM on Patreon, or maybe of myself, or maybe Manga Yourself. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'm really curious. I'm gonna read them for sure. Let me know. If you've reached the end of this video, it's really going to be the end. I really have to go back to my drawings. I want to thank you guys, and especially for sticking up for this entire video, 1 hour and 40 minutes, just listening to me talk, and maybe you're drawing in the meantime, and just have this as like a podcast kind of thing in your ear. I don't know if it's comfortable hearing me talk while you're drawing. Maybe it's very useful, and I want to thank you for that, because I know people are doing that. I want to thank you for doing that, and I hope you have blessings and good luck with your project or drawing or whatever you're working on, because it's always great to create stuff. I want to thank you guys, yeah, not only for watching, but supporting me for 2017. It's been a great year for myself, but also for How to BAM. Just How to BAM being back finally, and trying to get more of these videos out, just give you more updates, more of my personal life, more of what I'm going to do, and hopefully, no, not hopefully, I'm sure of it, is going to make more videos about what you guys want, and that's storytelling as first, and then probably make your art look more pro after that. So if you have friends that are interested in finding ways of how to make manga, make sure to guide them into this direction, how to BAM. It's still like a work in process. It's like if it would be an actual office, like how to BAM would be an actual office and you would come visit, it would be still under construction. You know, that's what it looked like. The cables hanging out, things are sparkling, it's sparking. You know, like electricity is still the wires haven't not being attached well. But there's a sofa though, because I always want you to feel comfortable when I'm making my videos, and I'm making these videos for you guys. Is I always make you want to feel comfortable. So there is a sofa over there. You can still sit. I'll bring you some tea or some coffee or a beverage or whatever you want. And yeah, but it's a still under construction office, you know. And sometimes I just it's still me personally coming by just to make sure if you're at ease and you can work. I've got a nice room set up for you where you can draw. You're probably doing right now, so you're listening to me, and I'll be your guide and talk shit actually for an hour and 40 minutes long. But I'll try to keep you entertained and give you information and knowledge for what I know. But we have a big schedule hanging in there in that same room saying we're gonna rock in 2018. Gonna make awesome videos, because if there's one thing I'm definitely going to do in 2018, and that's making those story videos coming to life, because I think those are really, really not only for manga artists but for all artists and for everyone who's interested in story writing. And I'm not a great story writer myself, but I have some knowledge of how to do it and look things into perspective. And I think those videos are going to be awesome. So make sure that you look at, come back and visit How to BAM so now and then. If you're not have that alert on, because that's something that people sometimes forget, is have that alert on when some new videos drop. You're back? How to BAM's back? Yeah, it's back since half year at least. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, you probably didn't have that alert on, you know. So make sure you have that. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next couple of weeks probably. If not, I'll see you on Instagram or whatever on the convention in Germany for sure. Thank you guys for sticking up for this whole video and for this whole year. And again, thank you guys. I'm really, really grateful that you are supportive. Really great comments. And we're going to make it a blast of a year. And I hope I can really contribute if you're still have the means of making a manga. Or it doesn't have to be manga per se, like having a full story and stuff, but just drawing for yourself, or maybe just a book for yourself, a story for yourself, or maybe just artwork for yourself, or fan art. I hope I can contribute with that, and we'll definitely going to do that more. So I hope you have enormous luck and blessings, and have a great year in 2018, and let's see what this year is going to bring. Guys, I'm just gonna wrap it up because I can talk for another hour. Gambate. That's all I'm gonna say. It rhymes. See ya, Johnny.